Hi, I'm DG, your English tutor. Today I'll be considering with you what is a noun phrase. Now remember that in our class we've dealt with the definition of a phrase. So today we'll be looking at noun phrase. Now, what is noun phrase? Noun phrase is a group of words that has a noun as its head word. Now let's look at these following examples. Number one, the bigger house. Number two is mother. Number three, the food. Number four, their books. Number five are English teachers. All these are examples of noun phrase. Now you will agree with me that those words are group of words. All right, you can see that they are not just one. At least the list of them is just two. Now you will also realize that these words, they are part of speech, that some of them has other part of speech. For example, we have the noun, and at the same time we have other part of speech. We have adjective in that expression, and at the same time we also have a possessive. We also have article in that example. Now if you take for example the big house, you realize that the big house has a noun, as an adjective, and has an article. Now the house there is the head word in that group of words. Now the house there, like I said, is the head word in that group of words. Why the adjective? The adjective you see there, the adjective is big, and the article is there. Now there and article, they are referred to as modifiers. All right, they modify the noun. Okay, they modify the noun. So in other words, they are just modifying the word, but the head word there is the house. The same thing with their books. Now if you look at their books, you will realize that we have two words. Their books is a plural noun, which is the head word there, while there is a possessive. Now if you look at his food also, it's still the same thing. His is a possessive and food is the noun. So now there is food. So in other words, food is the head word in that group of words, just like teacher is the head word in English teacher, just like house is the head word in the big house, just like box is the head word in there. Now that those rather those are the examples of noun phrase. We can have many more examples. I would even like if you will in the comment section drop more examples on noun phrase. Now let's go on and look at the functions of a noun phrase. Now if you recall, you realize that noun perform some certain functions, and those functions include the subject of a sentence, as the object of a sentence, and even as the complement to of a sentence too, because a noun can also serve as complement of a sentence or complement of the subject. So we can also have that. So the same function that a noun perform is the same function that a noun phrase perform. In other words, we have now performing as the noun phrase, rather performing as the subject of the verb, noun phrase as the object of the verb, as subject complement. All right, then we even have now in appositive. So we will consider all these things together, but before that, can you subscribe to my YouTube channel? Thank you very much. Noun phrase as subject of the verb comes after the verb in a sentence, or when the noun phrase serves as the subject in a sentence, and it usually all the time comes after the verb in a sentence. So the expression is going to be before the verb in a sentence. For example, let's take this one. The test helped him in a strange way. Can you identify the noun phrase there? We have the test helped him in a strange way. Now the test is the noun phrase there because it comes before the verb. Now what is the verb in that sentence? Helped. helped him. So therefore, the function of that is subject of the verb. Subject of the verb help. All right, do you get that? Now let's look at another example. My mother traveled to Lagos yesterday. Now, my mother is the noun phrase there. Now, it comes before the verb traveled. So it becomes the subject of the verb what? Traveled. Okay, do you get that? Are we together on that? Okay, now let's give another example like this. The boy jumped over the fence. Now, the boy automatically is the noun phrase because over the fence is a prepositional phrase, but we will get there later on anyway. So the boy jumped over the fence. Jump there is the verb, so it becomes subject of the verb jumped. So we have many examples. For example, the text of every commercial entry is the profit it makes. So the text of every commercial enterprise, the text of every commercial enterprise is the noun phrase. So what is the head word there? Test. So of every commercial enterprise, that one is just how would I put it, is just post modifier, but the head word there is the test. All right, so we stop here on subject of the verb. So in our next class we will go further. Have a nice day, and please make sure you subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much.